time they shine your light in the sky, don't go to it. The bat is dead. Bury it. Consider this mercy.
Tell me. Do you bleed? You will.
And what a fine evening tonight is. And we'll be having a watch along for Ghost in the Shell, Innocence. So I first watched this in, I don't remember if it's AXN or Animax, and I also lost my DVD copy, so I haven't watched this in a long time. So without further ado, let's begin the watch along. This is a story about Batô, the agent from Ghost in the Shell, and Kusanagi disappeared into the net. Okay. IG production. Okay, you see a burning building. The animation is much more better here than the first one. That's the improvement of the graphics, the CGI of from 1995 to 2004. This really reminds me of Blade Runner. Animation is much more enhanced. The use of shadows is heavily utilized, much like the first one.
52 minutes ago, the suspect killed its owner at his condo, the first crime scene. The perp fled and is now holed up in the second crime scene, an unmarked alleyway where it's killed 2 officers. All exits are blocked off. We plan to go in 2 minutes. Trust me, just let him go. That cyborg guy's from Section 9. If they cross your path, you're in for a world of trouble. Sounds like the cyber police are itching to step in. They're requesting a data link right now. Security and now them. Politely ask them to take a hike.
there are still elements of the 1995 animation style. And, but somehow there's more much more real. The way the doll is acting up. Oh, Batô shot the mannequin type doll. And we have the theme of Ghost in the Shell 2, Innocence. Based on the manga by Shirow Masamune. So in 2004, this is how animation views AI, just with this visual effects. Imagine if this type of cybernetics were real. The realism of the design of the CGI. Mamoru Oshii is the writer and director.
There have already been 8 homicides committed by gynoids this week. In each case, their cyber brains were reinitialized, and they self-terminated after murdering their owners. Of the said units, this type, 2052 Haruhi, were made by the Locus Solus company. They're preliminary betas of a mass production model. Apparently, they were provided free of charge to company contracted evaluators, but each unit has now been
We have District 9
You got all that, I hope.
as a
New brand of
focus.
gynoids went berserk for reasons that no one knows and snuffed their owners. The manufacturer got scared and recalled them. Now the lawsuits begin next to lengthy civil trials, then blame is laid on the producer, followed by massive payouts. Yeah, I got the gist of it, except for why Section 9 was called in.
You
So
understand? More
this
often
is
than not, what we
one
call
of the reasons why
understanding is based
AI
upon
should be regulated.
There are 2 reasons for our involvement at this time. The first is that no lawsuits are going to be filed by the next of kin. Any potential suits against the manufacturer, Locus Solus, have been settled out of court. Second, there was a politician among the group of victims who were killed, as well as a public security official who recently retired. It's possible that this was a terrorist act. Therefore, it falls under our purview to determine whether we ought to head up this case. Ishikawa and Azuma, you run down leads on the victims. And I want you two to check out the gynoids in question. But no questions. Get going.
Let's be clear. I didn't ask to be your partner. I'm the first to admit that I might not measure up to the Major.
No, that isn't it.
I hear that she's still reported as missing.
The only thing she really owned were her brain and her ghost. Of course, she herself wasn't too sure that she had even those. The Major's prosthetic body and cyber brain were government-issued equipment, and the memories inside that brain were the government's property, being intel and all. But the only thing the top brass is determined to recover is those memories. It's of no consequence to them whether she's alive or dead.
Well, how do you want to start on this?
Locus Solus is a manufacturer on the northern frontier. Let's begin with the basics and pay a visit to the local crime lab.
This is totally a la Blade Runner. Maybe I should do watch Blade Runner watch along one of these days.
You're here, huh?
We're here about that doll this guy smashed up.
You are aware of the fact that thing killed 2 of our men. You two don't expect to walk out of here with it, do you?
Our investigation will determine if we need to do that.
Forensics is up on the 19th floor, down the hall in Bright. Do I have to show you the way?
No thanks. We didn't come all the way here for a tour.
You know, there's an old saying.
I feel that this movie is a hard-boiled detective noir type of movie in anime form.
You know how it is back when you were a cop. Wouldn't you have spewed out a few choice words at the son of a bitch who came in out of the blue and swiped the case right out from under you?
That's what pissed me off. It's like I was looking at the old me from the past.
You mustn't find fault with the mirror when it's your own face that's distorted.
The mirror does not reflect the truth. It only obscures it. right?
No, the last thing I want to see in the mirror is your ugly reflection.
Okay, they're assembling the so-called dolls. In
As
this
I told you once, I told you
sort of
1,000 times,
lab.
I'm not doing a cooperative examination. Keep pestering me and I'll have you taken into custody.
How about security? I'm Tokusai. And my scary associate here.
Must be the one who filled this girl with double-aught bucks. Now, if you had used 50 caliber hollow points instead, then it would have been a simple matter to restore her.
3 people were killed, and 2 of those were policemen.
She tried to commit suicide before you shot her. Didn't she?
What do you mean suicide?
Haraway.
Ms. Haraway. What do you mean a robot committed suicide?
That's something new, a robot committing suicide.
By deliberately malfunctioning. Therefore, as a logical consequence of this, they're also freeing themselves from the third law of the ethics code.
Protect your own existence so long as such protection does not harm a human being. I think it would be more accurate to call it self-termination, personally.
Yes, if you're assuming that there's a clear distinction between man and machine, that is.
Is this suicide phenomenon limited to a particular model?
I wish I could say it is, but no. This past few years, we've been seeing a spike in robot-related incidents. It's especially bad in the pet models.
Any idea what's causing it?
Who knows? Cyber brain corruption by a virus or microorganism, human error during the manufacturing process, degraded functionality due to age-related deterioration. Take your pick. Personally,
What?
if you ask me, I think it's because humans discard
This
their
still
rights.
has that
You know,
Omok
they no longer
number 1
when new
feel
models come out, people
by
buy
Jack
the
Kirby.
latest and greatest. Some of those that are tossed out end up on the streets where they gradually deteriorate.
The art is awesome.
All the robots want is for us to stop treating them as disposable.
Come on.
Humans and robots are different, but that sort of faith is nothing more than the recognition that humans aren't robots, which is on the same level as saying that white is not black. Unlike robots intended for heavy labor and industrial use, pet androids and gynoids weren't designed with utilitarianism and pragmatism in mind. Why did we feel compelled to create them in man's image? An idealized image at that. For what reason or purpose?
This
does
is
humanity
turning
go
into
such lengths to engender
philosophical.
the weaknesses of itself?
Why create cyborgs in man's image? Androids and cyborgs.
Do you have children?
I do. A girl.
Children have always deviated from the human norm. That is, if we define a human as something that is a fixed identity and behaves in accordance with its own free will. What then are children, those early-stage humans who exist in a state of chaos? Even though they physically resemble humans, they differ from them drastically, mentally and emotionally. The dolls that little girls play with when they pretend to be mommy aren't really surrogate babies or toys on which to practice mothering skills. Maybe these girls aren't just rehearsing for motherhood. Perhaps playing with dolls is very nearly the same thing as actually raising children.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
In other words, raising a child is the quickest way and as close as you can get to realizing an age-old dream, creating an artificial human being. That's how I see it.
Children aren't. They aren't dolls!
Do Do you know Descartes? He didn't distinguish between man and machine, organic and inorganic. He owned a doll that resembled his daughter Francine, who died at age 5. He gave it her name and he adored it. I almost forgot about that.
Look, can we get back to the real-world matter at hand? We need some info. I'd like to hear your expert opinion on that Locus Solus robot type 2052 Hodley.
Well, let's see. It's a fine piece of work. I'm told it's a beta model mass production unit, but it's built to unusual specs.
Unusual specs?
It's equipped with organs that aren't needed on a maid type.
Meaning?
It's a sexroid. It's not a hobby you can brag about in public, but it's not illegal.
I get it now.
A sex
No
doll.
wonder the next of kin dropped the lawsuits.
As their cyber brains start to shut down, they reinitialize. It's been a standard practice to have a built-in safeguard for the control software's technical data. However,
What is it?
there was a file left in the audio buffer for plan.
Thanks for all your help.
Hey. Excuse me, but may I ask you a personal question?
No, I've never given birth nor have I raised any children. And I'm not registered as a donor of the egg bank either.
Thank you for your time, miss.
Just Haraway. No Ms., Mrs., or Miss.
How can they not
Well, she certainly wasn't your typical
notice
engineer,
that
was she?
they're
Probably
talking
goes on the
to
comment sections on
an
forums.
android?
I used to do that.
That's why you weren't promoted quicker.
Anyway, I guess we should keep the cyber brain of that guy who entered the Section 9 lab.
So, you're telling me we're not going to see that lady again?
She the type you like to hang out with?
Yeah, I've got a thing for weird older women. What now?
We'll do this by the book.
Shipping inspector next?
907, 602 in progress at a boathouse in sector 201. Victim is a shipping inspector at Locus Solus, area
all things considered. This is still a cop movie.
Whoa, what a coincidence.
On every spring day between this world and the next, I spur on the coach. You here alone? What's up?
Koga went back to base with the stiff after getting reacquainted with the tuna sandwich he ate for dinner.
That guy's pathetic.
The crime scene is of 22 minutes ago.
You made a rookie carry that thing back?
Hey, it's a learning experience. Okay, here's a rundown of the situation. Match run on the victim's cyberbrain. Jacques Valkenson, Chief Shipping Inspector for Locus Solus, age 54. Submitted vacation request 5 days ago, then dropped off the radar. 3 days ago, victim signed a 1-week rental agreement for this houseboat. Murder weapons were kitchen implements that came with the boat. Search run on vehicles in the area. Record located of parked crime vehicle. Check for Yakuza affiliation in progress. 7 cards of various types found in overcoat believed to belong to the victim. Check for usage in progress.
Okay,
Hold
hologram.
on. We've got ourselves a 38 caliber
Photo.
Smith & Wesson here, a model 2602. Looks like he didn't have time to use it.
That might not have done him any good if he came up against a cyborg that was illegally amped up, or a pro pretending to be a psycho.
907,
not touching anything.
Let's let forensics take it from here. 907 to 09. Relinquishing crime scene to 969. And today is my daughter's birthday.
Family man.
Want a lift? I'm headed the other way. Ishikawa?
I'm the other direction too. You heard him. The kid's birthday takes priority.
You boys having a good time?
A personal appearance, that's a rare sight.
Our stiff was missing a few parts, so I thought I'd get involved.
Well, then we'll get out of your hair. Take your
Why don't
time
the local
looking
cops
around.
handle this?
Dunno, but the old man's worked up over it.
Oh, some weird looking characters.
This is one tidy son of a bitch.
If you buy her dry food instead of that Inamaru brand wet dog food, it'll keep for 6 months.
I'm not feeding that garbage to her.
So I hear that you're teamed up with Togus. Well, it's better than some rookie fresh out of the academy who's more of a pain than a partner.
Well, he's competent enough, considering he's a former detective. I'm fine with it.
I sure hope so, because the only person you ever partnered with that you thought made the grade was the major.
Look, Ishikawa, you know I liked you better when you were the quiet type.
He is the smartest choice.
Look at those locks. So Batô has a dog. Cute dog. Oh, the dog is an android a robot dog. That's weird. I know it's not. My bad. The dog is cute. there's a lot of nothing in this movie. So it's kind of boring. Somehow there's no real action.
Death was caused by crushing the cervical vertebrae with blunt force trauma. Kitchen utensils weren't used to murder the victim, but were instead used to mutilate the corpse.
You're saying someone killed the guy, then leisurely dismantled him?
Yeah, that's what it boils down to. We confirmed that the organs found in the refrigerator belonged to the victim. They showed early signs of gastritis and cirrhosis of the liver. Looks like he had a drinking problem.
Why did he cut the guy so meticulously?
Maybe to make us think he's mentally unstable or a sicko, or reinforce a message of revenge or punishment.
Which would nix the whole pro-hit disguised as a thrill kill theory. What was with the mangled doorknob?
Analysis determined that the perp's prosthetic limb was a Chinese-made NR-26.
A crab claw.
That's military issue, isn't it?
They're available on the black market, but a lot of them are defective.
It matched the lacerations on the victim's head.
What about the owner of that car? The one with the rap sheet?
It seems there were a lot of illegal modifications, so tracking it down
Just
wasn't...
report your findings.
According to my follow-up investigation,
They're talking with their
the
heads.
car belonged to the Kojinkai,
So
a violent criminal organization. It was bulletproofed and the chassis and rear shocks were beefed up. It's been spotted at multiple violent crime scenes.
Tricked out wheels for a tricked out cyborg.
For hired muscle with illegally amped output. Could this be Yakuza payback?
So, motive. What do we have on the Kojinkai?
Japanese crime law. They go way back. Drugs, prostitution, human trafficking, real estate extortion. They've got a finger in every pie. Their boss, a guy named Inoue, got his head ripped off by a Hadari. His deputy, Wakabayashi, is running things now. It's obvious. Avenging a previous boss is a prerequisite for taking over.
There's one problem with that. If the victim knew there was every likelihood of retaliation, then why choose a place to lie low that's inside Kojinkai territory?
His cyberbrain data has been wiped, so I guess we'll have to check out his associates.
This is clearly a job for the local cops, not us.
You're positive it's not a terrorist act disguised as a rogue robot?
So far, we haven't found any political factors that link all the victims. It's looking pretty unlikely.
Batô and Togusa will work full-time investigating these Hadari runaways, including this incident. The rest of you return to your regular shifts. Dismissed. Togusa. Before you leave here, see me. Your thoughts?
I assume we need to see if there's a connection between the Kojinkai and Locus Solus.
I was talking about Batô. It's imperative that partners monitor each other's mental states with regularity.
Even so, I'm not a cyborg, and I'm certainly no cyber physician.
Well, to understand Caesar would not be easy. You have a family, as I recall. You consider yourself a happy man?
Yes, sure.
A man once said that people are never as happy or unhappy as they might think. That what's truly important is to never grow weary of your life and aspirations.
What are you getting at?
When I look at Batô lately, I'm reminded of the Major and the way she was just before she vanished. Let a man walk alone. Let him commit no sin. Let him have few wishes. Like an elephant in the forest.
So, Chief, what made you choose me for this assignment?
The Major. She's the one who scouted you for this news.
So what did he have to say?
Pearls of wisdom, a bit of poetry, and I don't have to be Caesar to understand it.
they're observing Batô.
Because it's impossible for the world to live up to standards set by the giants of history.
You planning to start a war or something?
One need not be a Yakuza when one goes to a Yakuza office, but you do need to pack some heat.
Look, before we head out, I want to make sure of something.
Yeah, what?
We're just going there to talk, right?
You hate the Yakuza, right?
Can't stand them.
Same here.
So we're just going to talk.
I said, when you go to a Yakuza office,
Yeah, you don't have to be a Yakuza. But you also said that you needed weapons. I have a family to think of.
I'll go by myself if you want.
No, I'm going. That's what partners do. I want you to give me your word, though.
We're just gonna talk. I'll avoid shooting as much as possible. You happy now?
Yes, I am.
Then let's go do this, partner.
Who the hell are you?
We just want to talk with your buddy, Wakabayashi. Go get him.
Okay. Gun battle. This is what I've been waiting for. Action.
You said you would avoid shooting.
I did avoid shooting. As much as possible. Now move, point man. There's more coming.
They're battling the Yakuza.
The hologram? That son of a bitch, he gets our eyes!
They lost.
Blame those cheap-ass cyber brains of yours. What is it?
That stairwell's dark and narrow. Now what?
Now we go up. Come on, I'll go first.
No, I will. You're too big for me to see or shoot past, so I can't cover you.
Okay, let's adjust this.
I set off those little welcome beams you dropped on our heads. Even assuming that they would have gone off within the maximum effective radius, you'd have to use a lot more than 2 of them to take out a cyborg in body armor. Why go through that? You'll tell me about the hit on the shipping inspector and what your connection is to Locus Solus.
Okay.
I was wondering when you'd show up. Here, crap boy. You don't look appetizing, but I'll bite. Flashy moves like that never connect. Idiot.
He knew where the inspector was and told us. So we dealt with him. Look, I just got out of the joint after 3 years. I don't know shit about what the old boss was up to with the company.
Still breathing, partner?
The faces of my wife and daughter flashed before my eyes back there.
That wasn't your family's faces you were looking at. was the angel of death.
You were ordered to conduct an investigation. I don't recall telling you to cut corners and take the law into your own hands. And I certainly don't recall telling you to launch an assault on a Yakuza office. We're not in the middle of a jungle, and you two aren't Special Forces wet work specialists.
Are you still pissed off?
I'm not pissed off. Although I don't want to sound ungrateful to somebody who saved my life today. It seems pretty obvious that I'm going to need a few extra lives if I plan to survive on the job as your partner.
Only you and me working this case full time. FS measures aren't going to get us anywhere. If something fishy's going on between Locus Solus and them, then they're definitely going to bite the bait.
That's why you did something so over the top.
If the old man was really bent about what we did, then we'd be in Section 9 doing desk duty right now. You can drop me off up here. See ya.
That's about how much action I've got today.
You've stepped inside the kill zone.
Oh, damn. But there was ambush. Okay. What's happening?
Don't go screwing around with the settings on that right arm. Some of these updated drivers have a tendency to conflict with fire control software and
Yeah.
cause degraded functionality. Just leave it be.
If that happens, just get it reset. Hey, so tell me, what do you think they did with my original arm parts?
Forget that. The organic components in the arm you've got have been matched to your DNA and are virtually the same.
In other words, after I break this in, it should be as good as my old arm.
Ow! Hold on, damn it!
Hey, wait a minute. Since you're bringing her here, that means...
Sorry we had to break into your cozy love nest. But thought of that poor hound sitting alone, howling for her missing master, starving and covered in her own shit, broke my heart. Oh well, I'm a softy for a pooch.
But I'm the one who took that beast home for the night. My daughter was thrilled, but my wife is still pissed about the mess she left on the carpet.
So how long did you have me under surveillance?
Don't sweat it, it's no big deal.
Yeah, it was. You were using me as a smokescreen.
Not my fault you're too green to spot a tail. If you're gonna hate someone, hate the old man.
Is she a clone? Originals are pricey.
From what I understand, this is the first type of dog breed by artificial insemination.
Allowing someone to hack into your cyber brain that way isn't like you. When your daily routine becomes a pattern, that's when you walk into a trap. I told you to switch over to the dry food.
But that's her favorite food. And besides, that's the only store in the area where I can buy it.
Well, someone tugged your strings to make you go berserk. You started off the festivities by shooting 5 rounds into your own arm. Then you came within a breath of blowing away the store owner.
Perhaps you're off your game, but there aren't many people who would have the capability of hacking your cyber brain.
I wonder who's hacking. I think it's
I can't understand why they didn't make me blow my head off right from the start.
Their goal wasn't to eliminate you, it was to cause a scandal. Think about it. You burst into a main Yakuza office, gun blazing, and sent at least a dozen people to the hospital or the afterlife. And before the day was out, you shot up a convenience store. Anybody would assume that you're either nuts or you've got one serious cyber brain malfunction.
yeah.
This attack proves that this case isn't merely a simple accident. If we back off now, then
What's the point of there being a Section 9? If the Major were here, I'm betting that's what she'd say.
Instruction from the old man. Continue your work. But until you obtain material evidence in this case, there can be no official support from this point forward.
I suppose we'll have to go check out Locus Solus in person.
He said speed is the key for secrecy. Fly to the northern frontier ASAP.
go up north?
You two aren't up for it?
No, it's just the dog.
Oh, now the issue here is what to do with a mutt owned by a guy, a bachelor no less, in our line of work. And of all the breeds in the world, you had to pick a high maintenance one. Figure it out your own damn selves.
If you look at the dog's eye, he was staring really mad. Oh boy. This setting.
In its heyday, this was the Entorofu Special Economic Zone, built to be the greatest information-intensive city in the Far East. All that's left to show who's ever here is this forest of giant metal grave markers. Its iffy sovereignty status has made it the perfect hangout for multinationals and the criminal organizations that feed on their scraps. It's a no-man's land beyond the reach of both the UN's Net Police and ACN's cyber cops. There's a quote about how an object built by an individual is as much an expression of the builder's genetic phenotype as the builder himself.
Yeah, but that guy was talking about beaver dams and spider webs.
Give me coralline algae and the coral reefs they create anytime. It's too bad these are nowhere near as pretty. If life's true nature is information that's passed down via genes, then society and civilization are nothing more than gigantic memory systems that would make cities huge external memory devices.
How precious also are thy thoughts unto me, O God. How great is the sum of them. If I should count them, they are more in number than the sand.
That's Psalm 139 from the Book of David, the Old Testament, right? The way it calls up quotes at the drop of a hat. Maybe the phenotype of your external memory device has some of your philosophical leanings.
Yeah, like you're one to talk, Plato.
Excuse me, fellas. We'll be over at the Locust Solus building soon. I'll do a slow flyby for you, so hold on tight and enjoy the view. That's the end of our little side tour. Now coming into land.
Angel forms, who lay entranced, thick as autumnal leaves. 9 days they fell, confounded chaos roared.
You're quoting Milton this time? Well, I got news for you, partner. We aren't Satan.
Yeah. These are Gothic designs in modern setting. They really promote their culture. Basically, this is Chinese culture, Oriental culture. This is a parade of sorts. In slow-mo. I wonder what Chinese festival is this.
Batô.
You're a real big shot now. When did you grow the stones to drop the sir with me?
I haven't forgotten all that I owe you, really, I swear.
I never recall you to my memory because I've never forgotten you.
Cut me some slack, Batô, sir.
I have too much dignity to let you butter me up with sir.
Please forgive me, I'm begging you. I'll be in your debt.
Kim, does that sound familiar?
No, I've never heard of him. I mean, guys with that name are a dime a dozen around here, like a million of them.
Maybe, but I'm looking for one Kim in particular.
Hey, there's such a thing as loyalty in my line of work.
There are two kinds of loyalty. One maintains secrecy, the other openness, but the two cannot coexist. What kind of loyalty do you have?
That same guy said that without lies there can be no truth.
Alas, once again, you know this Kim person, don't you?
I really don't know him. I mean, I don't know that particular Kim. When we face death, life is like a puppet on a festival card. As soon as one string is cut, it crumples and fades.
This is purely philosophical. Again, so they're burning cybernetic dolls. I wonder why. Why are they offering these cybernetic items to the flame?
Well, he started out being assigned as a long-range scout for the military, having failed at leading, having failed in following. He is fit only to die by the side of the road. His career was shot to hell for things like running black market arms deals while he was bouncing between special forces and cyber warfare units. And in the end, he wound up as another stereotypical hacker.
One of those colorful history types, huh?
Have you ever heard the old adage, if an ass goes a-traveling, he'll not return as a horse? He is an ass, just a dumb son of a bitch who bit off more than he could chew. You coming?
And the designs are astounding. Oh, there's a shadow. The room feels like a hologram. Man, they mix CGI, 2D, and 3D art. I mean, whoa, this is great.
Batô, upstairs in the study. We got here too late, obviously. It looks as though he tried to hack into someplace and got himself fried by an attack barrier. Well, even if the guy was alive, I doubt that he would have been any use to us.
In accordance with the deceased's wishes, we decline offers of live or artificial flowers or releasing of birds. Right.
Hey!
He did not lie like a corpse. Even the great Confucius offered sage advice that one shouldn't play possum. I haven't got time for your stupid games. Now pull yourself together and let's talk.
Damn.
It's been a long time. Not since the Nimino landing operation.
I'm here on business.
Locus Solus, right? They got into robot manufacturing late in the game, but once they began focusing exclusively on developing and producing high-end gynoids, their business started to expand rapidly. It's rumored that they're cozy with politicians, high-ranking bureaucrats, and even organized crime. They got paranoid about visits from the authorities, so they set up their production line inside a multinational factory ship that's anchored off the coast. The dolls they make there are fine pieces of work, very sophisticated.
Sophisticated enough to commit murder and then kill themselves?
If that's true, it's awfully disturbing. I don't understand it when people try to mimic humans by breathing souls into dolls. The definition of a truly beautiful doll is a flesh and blood body devoid of a soul. A corpse standing on tiptoes, teetering on the brink of collapse.
That's the reason why you decided to turn yourself into a cyberized invalid?
In terms of physical appearance and grace of leg, no.
Someone's on my back.
Just in their very existence, humans don't hold a candle to dolls. The inherent flaws in man's knowledge lead to flaws in man's reality. That sort of perfection can only be achieved by something that either possesses no consciousness or infinite consciousness. In other words, it's only attainable by dolls or gods.
Would you mind if we got down to the business at hand now?
Actually, there is one other type of being that's on the same level as dolls or gods.
Animals.
The skylarks of Shelley's poem are filled with the joy of the deep subconscious. Something that creatures like us, with our indomitable sense of self, are incapable of experiencing. For the descendants of those who ate of the fruit of the tree of knowledge, it's a far more difficult proposition than becoming these gods.
Therefore, you chose to put yourself into the body of a doll and play dead. Is that why you did it?
In the words of Confucius, not yet understanding life, how can you understand death? Few people know death. We only endure it, not out of determination, but usually from stupidity and custom. And most men only die because they know not how to prevent dying.
But to a living doll, death is a given, a fact of life. So that was the reasoning behind Kim's decision to get a full prosthetic body.
Well,
yeah, his career was shot to hell for things like running black market arms deals. All the while he was bouncing between special forces and cyber warfare units. And in the end, he wound up as another stereotypical hacker.
One of those colorful history types?
Have you ever heard the old adage, if an ass goes a-traveling, will not return as a horse?
What's the matter? Let's go.
This is so philosophical.
Batô!
This is weird. I feel like they were
On this day of the month,
here
Inosensu wishes to
a while ago.
of the happy and joyful occasion of his timely death.
Hey!
This is seriously disturbing, isn't it? Trust me, I know how you feel. It's the uncertainty that perhaps something that appears to be alive actually isn't. On the other hand, it might be the uncertainty that perhaps something that doesn't appear to be alive actually is. Do you want to know why people are so unnerved by dolls? It's because the dolls are modeled after them. In other words, dolls are no less than humanity itself. That gives rise to fear. Fear that humans might be reduced to simple mechanisms and materials. In basic terms, it's the fear that the human phenomenon is fundamentally devoid of meaning and purpose.
Cut the crap and let's get down to business.
Even science, which has long endeavored to shed light on the phenomenon of life, has played a major role in fomenting this fear. The belief that nature is quantifiable leads to the hypothetical conclusion that humanity can also be reduced to simple mechanical components.
The human body is a machine which winds its own springs. It is the living image of perpetual movement.
The 18th century man as machine theory has been resurrected by cyberbrains and prosthetic body technology. Ever since it became possible to externalize memory through the use of computers, man has been aggressively mechanizing himself. This is man's quest to expand the upper limits of his abilities as a living creature. It's a manifestation of the desire to overcome Darwinian survival of the fittest, and to break free of the evolutionary rat race through sheer strength of will. It's also the desire to outdo the natural world that gave birth to mankind itself. God envy, the conceited fantasy to be a life form equipped with perfect hardware, spawned this nightmare.
And God forever geometrizes. Let's go.
So we're back again at that point. Man, we're going in circles.
Batô!
What the hell? What's that battleship doing there? Or is it just another illusion created by an AI? Man. What's happening?
How you feeling there? Someone hacked your cyber brain. You were in a virtual experience maze. Like good things, bad things have a habit of turning up in sets of three also. You don't want to see, so you don't look. And even if you notice, you say nothing. And if you say something, no one listens. Then catastrophe comes calling. But in our world, we don't get two chances. If we miss that first hint, it's all over. I've already told you once that we don't have time for your damn games, Kim.
When did you figure it out?
The easiest person in the world to trick is the one who thinks that he's tricking you. It's no secret that you were once a cyber warfare specialist, but coincidentally, I'm a veteran info war pro myself. Besides, there's a guardian angel over my shoulder. Right now, you're going to call up the hull data from that huge external memory device of yours, and then we'll have a look at it.
Damn, that loop.
According to Jacob Grimm, an artificial human called the Golem was brought to life by inscribing the word Emet, meaning truth, on its forehead. But if you erase the first two letters, AE, it becomes Met, meaning death, and the creature turns back to lifeless clay. This was an omen warning me that there was no truth to be found here in the mansion.
Are you telling me that someone breached the barrier I set up? Impossible. No one could pull that off.
Weren't you listening? I said I have a guardian angel.
Yeah,
This game's over, kid.
I know who
You'll
that
tell us
guardian
everything
angel
you want.
is.
That was just an ordinary doll. You need to learn when to quit. You think I'd fall for a stunt like that?
Batô, can you say with certainty that this isn't just a continuation of the reality manufactured by my virtual signals?
As we speak, my ghost is whispering to me.
Humanity is merely a thread from which the dream of life is woven. That is, if our dreams, intelligence, and yes, even our ghosts are ribs and distortions that arise in the uniform, timeless matrix.
No matter how you spin it, you and I are both worthless human beings, but the difference is we're not walking in the same shoes. Folks who don't believe in the ghost will never know madness, schizophrenia, or a million other things inherent in the human condition. But when they choose to live ghostless, what's the point? They're really not better off. What flesh you have left will never decay and keep on functioning until you finally get what's coming to you.
Damn. That was intense.
We're back in the real world now, aren't we? Please just tell me we are.
There's no distinction between a memory and your recollection of it. In each case, any understanding of its significance only comes after the fact, not being able to save the subjective passage of time. That's where the challenge is, and things get a bit tricky. This is just one price you have to pay when you have a cyber brain and you allow your memories to be shared externally. I want to ask you something. Do you really have a wife and kid waiting for you at home? Are you still a bachelor, sitting alone with only a dog for company in some dingy apartment somewhere, dreaming about how nice it would be to have a family of your own? Don't you want to go and find out the answer to that?
Why not stop him if you knew he'd try that?
It's the only way I could find out what his objective was. After he set his trap, knowing that I'd come to him for help, he planned to infect us both with that virtual experience in order to get rid of us. Probably something like that. When he had me dancing to his tune and I blew up my right arm, I suspected he had planted a tap in my cyber brain. As usual, Ishikawa was right when he said that anybody who was capable of pulling that off would hardly stop there. Locus Solus is probably thinking the very same thing.
You expected this would happen from the start?
The plan was to make him believe that I'd fallen into his trap. That was the only way I could dive into him. But Kim's a talented son of a bitch. If I hadn't gotten that sign, I never would have made it out.
Now, about that guardian angel you mentioned earlier, it wasn't...
She's gone away for good, probably. Beyond the rips in the uniform matrix is her world. She's somewhere out in the boundless net, connected to the entire realm, fused to it. So if you're looking to prove your own existence, you can find as many ways as there are ghosts. You've got a daughter yourself, remember? Back when we were stationed in the jungle, even that bastard Kim must have understood that.
I've come out of this with a valuable lesson also.
What's that?
That I don't have what it takes, the right stuff, to be your partner.
Yeah.
Flipping out on me?
It's not anything bad. However, I do want to make it back to my daughter in one piece.
Well, I'm still going to make you earn your paycheck no matter what you decide.
You're not done yet? But the files we pulled from his cyberbrain prove that the Locus Solus criminal was...
All we've got on him is obstructing an investigation and violating the Cyberbrain Ethics Act. And besides, our investigation is strictly off the books. If we're going to prove that there was criminal liability in the killing rampage those gynoids went on, then we got to come up with hard evidence, as you know.
Yeah, perhaps, but Kim is a dead end.
No, far from it. In fact, I put his cyberbrain into a ghost pack, but the thing's still linked to Locus Solus. We have to finish this and tie up all the loose ends.
Genius.
Appearances. Ages ago, there was a terrific expression. When right and wrong are in doubt, beat the drums and attack. Yep. Talking goes nowhere.
Hey, this is different. Worlds apart from busting in on some Yakuza office.
Mate, but to watch my back. Birds hide by flying high up to the heavens, and fish by diving down into the depths of the sea.
I think he's talking to the major. That ghost he mentioned.
Contact made with escort.
Roger.
I'm amazed you got the guts to dive with a body like that. So deep here that if you would retrieve you.
I used to know a cyborg who went scuba diving. I don't know.
I'm only going along with this because Lynn vouched for you. But they say that nobody's ever gone to that ship and lived to tell the tale. I hope you know what you're doing.
That makes two of us. Take us in.
Hold on tight.
Contact with sensor picket line in 12 seconds. I'm going to send out a virtual signal for 2 seconds on their channel.
Acknowledge.
He's wired directly to the cyber brain of the security supervisor. Commencing synchronization.
Whoa, this is one dope shit. How can a cyborg swim with that kind of body? Oh, how indeed.
All right, I'm in. Send me the ship schematics. Upload complete. Are you piggybacking my visual feed?
Of course. I wouldn't miss the hero's big infiltration. I'm already recording.
You could be a real smart ass, you know that?
Okay. I wonder what Batô will see inside the ship. It's some Chinese shit. The hell? The freaking AI is Chinese.
Pull out. It's too dangerous for you to stay any longer. You'll get your brain fried.
Not yet. Just a little longer. Dumb bastard! Don't try to be a hero!
Yeah. Could he survive that landing? Damn, his brain is fried. Gynoids production. Sort of like cybernetic mannequins. Who knows martial arts? And another battle scene. And really, the gynoid killed. Damn, this is scary. Whoa, his arm became a gun. That was cool. Hey, someone's helping him. It's the major.
The Holy Spirit descended upon him. Been a long time, Major. What should I call you these days?
To be precise, this is only a part of me that I uploaded via satellite. The cyberbrain in this gynoid simply doesn't have the capacity. The combat control programs alone take up most of its free space, so this is the best I can do for speech and facial expression. Go straight up this corridor about 50 meters, and there ought to be an emergency terminal. We'll gain access through that and take control of the entire system. You haven't changed one bit.
Get moving, white man. I got your back. Just like the old days.
This is so cool. They're fighting gynoids.
There are few who can hold up a mirror and not become evil. A mirror does not expose evil, rather, it creates it.
Look, this ain't the time to get philosophical. I'm running low on ammo here.
In short, mirrors ought to be merely glanced at, not stared at.
Oh
Sure you want to do that?
I just need to get control of the ship's receiver system. Jack into the auxiliary terminal on the floor.
boy. She's gonna jack into the system.
Until I gain control, the physical functions of this body will cease. My only defense will be that .30 caliber of yours.
My regular brain can handle the target, but I'm down to one spare clip. If I have to go hand to hand with those things, I can't make any guarantees.
I'm starting.
Wait, what happened? Snap. Wait, I have to reload. I have to reload the film. Yeah. And things were getting interesting.
Hey, channel.
Oops, sorry, not here. Okay, this is where I was cut off.
Sure you want to do that?
I just need to get control of the ship's receiver system. Jack into the auxiliary terminal on the floor. Until I gain control, the physical functions of this body will cease. My only defense will be that .30 caliber of yours.
My regular brain can handle the target, but I'm down to one spare clip. If I have to go hand to hand with those things, I can't make any guarantees.
I'm starting.
I feel that an AI interrupted my movie. Damn. Okay, Batô is on his last clip. He went semi-auto. Okay. The major uploaded a virus somehow. And that's that.
I have control. I've locked out all external access. The ship is now operating in full standalone mode.
All right, they did it.
Is it moving?
The ship is leaving the extraterritorial northern frontier and heading for a neighboring country where the rule of law applies. The ship itself is hard evidence of the criminal activity of Lucas Solis.
They'll come after us.
Ships will meet us before then to escort us in. I've already sent out a request. Now, care to take a peek behind the curtain to see what magic spell Lucas Solis cast to breathe souls into these dolls?
Don't you know already?
You have your suspicions too. Do you?
There's no noise at all. This chamber is completely EM shielded.
Man, this is weird.
Ghost dubbing. The technology was able to produce multiple degraded copies in animal tests, but it was banned when they learned that it destroyed the brain of the original.
So, they smuggle kids in using Kojinkai roots, brainwash them, then dub their ghosts into those gynoid bodies. This is the dirty little secret that makes Lucas Solis' gynoid so popular.
This is one of the reasons why AI needs to be tempered with ethics. It's the creation of such things.
You're here to rescue us. You did come. Mr. Malkinson said you would. He was sure that people from the police would come and that they'd save us. I'm a stage 4, but my friend Sawana, she's already been moved up to stage 5. She doesn't answer me anymore because she can't hear me, you know?
That inspector who was murdered tried to help these children by tweaking the gynoid's ethics code. When he was found out, he was served up to the Yakuza as their boss's killer. That's the long and short of it.
Mr. Valkinson said that if the robots did awful things, then someone would figure it out. He said someone would help us, and you did.
Didn't it ever occur to you that there would be victims? I'm not talking about the humans. I'm talking about the dolls that were given souls. Did you stop to think what would happen to them?
But I didn't want to be turned into a doll. That's all I cared about.
We are saddened by a bird's cry, but not a fish's blood. Blessed are those with voices. If those dolls had voices, I bet each and every one of them would have screamed, I don't want to be a human.
I need to ask you, are you happy with being the way you are now, Major?
I haven't looked at things that way for a long time, but at least I can say that I'm at peace with myself. Let a man walk alone. Let him commit no sin. Let him have few wishes.
So there are biblical, scriptural references.
Batô, don't forget, whenever you access the net, I'll be there, right by your side. I'm leaving.
This is also philosophical. Nice.
I think you saw her. Did she appear to you on that ship, that guardian angel of yours? Tight-lipped as usual, huh? Why, afraid I'll include it in my report?
I'll swing by and get you at 0800 tomorrow. Not to mention I've got to repay you for looking after this monster.
Are you in a rush? Why don't you two come in?
Getting all warm and fuzzy with someone else's family isn't my thing.
Daddy!
There's my big girl.
Did you bring me a souvenir? Where's my souvenir?
I didn't forget. Here.
Yay!
Damn. That's dull scary.
Follow me.
Yes. So the cast are Akio Otsuka, Koichi Yamadara, Atsuko Tanaka. Damn, this is awesome, just awesome, just awesome, just awesome. I really enjoyed watching Ghost in the Shell 2, Innocence. And since my memory is shot, I'll consider this my first watch. Yep. It's damn, so very good and makes you think about stuff. So that's it for today. Subscribe to my channel, yeah, at YouTube at Qatar Hall 5, and like the video. Yep, just smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. And this is me getting out of here. Later.